What is good, guys? So I wanted to share a story with you on how the last apartment that I moved into was infested with roaches. So I don't live in this apartment anymore. I was able to get out of it, but we'll get into that in the story. So anyway, if you guys have been following me, you've watched my past videos, I had this beautiful, gorgeous apartment. It was the best place that I've ever lived in, but I just became overwhelmed with my bills and everything, and I want to be in a better place financially. I want to be able to afford life more comfortably, and I want to be able to invest more time into dance. So I did decide to leave that apartment and find something a little more inexpensive, which I've lived in all kinds of places, all kinds of neighborhoods. I've had roommates, no roommates, like I've dealt with it all. I've had mice, I've had ants, but roaches is something new. I've heard horror stories and was grateful up until this point not to have experienced that, but now I have. So I moved into this apartment. Price was good. It included utilities. Neighborhood was okay. It was basic. It had everything I needed. It was good size. I felt like it was a good deal. And looking at the apartment, obviously, I've never dealt with this before, so I didn't really know what to look for, but I thought if it was that bad, I would have noticed, or maybe I would have seen something. I wish I saw the warning signs sooner, trust me, but I didn't. So got approved, moved in. Day 3, first 2 days, I didn't see anything. But I was in and out a lot, and I didn't have any food or anything there, so I think they were hiding. They were waiting to make an appearance. So day 3 comes, and I started cooking for the first time since I got there. And as I'm cooking, I saw a little bug. I didn't know what it was. It just ran away from me the second I saw it. I was like, oh, okay, this is an old building, you know, I just moved in, like, I just have to clean up and stuff. It's, you know, a few bugs here and there, that's the thing, that's fine. And then I see another one. Turn another corner, I see another one. It's like once I see one, I see a bunch of them. That time I saw 3 in the kitchen. That was the first place that I saw them. I'm in denial at this point. I'm like, no, it's because they all kind of looked a little different, but they were small and they were fast. That's what I remembered when I first started seeing them. So I'm like, okay, no, it's fine. I caught them and I got rid of them. You know, panicked at first, but I said, no, you just got here, like, just give it some time, see if you see anything else. So I left. I had some things to do, and I was gone for a while. And then roaches, they like to come out in the dark. So when I came back, all the lights were off, obviously. It was nighttime. I came back, and I was hanging out with a friend, and I described what happened in the kitchen earlier that day. I was like, yeah, I saw 3 all at once. And I described what they looked like, and he was like, he had this look of concern on his face, and he was like, ooh, they're not roaches, are they? And inside, my heart just sank. I was like, no, they're probably just like those weird, I don't know too many bug species, but no, they're not roaches. He's okay. That wouldn't be good. I was like, yeah, let's hope that's not the case. So I left, I went home, and I found 4. I found 4 more. I found 2 in the living room. One was on the floor, one was on the wall. I go into the bedroom. I found 2 more in the bedroom. One was by my bed. Oh, no. I freaked out. So, no. I texted my friend. I was like, yep, I think you're right. I'm pretty sure they're roaches. I found 4 more just now, and 2 were in my room, so good luck getting any sleep tonight. I panicked. I caught all except for one. I saw one like right next to my bed, and when I went to go catch him, he ran back into the crack they came from. I saw the crack in the floor, and I saw him go in there. I was like, oh, no. This is not, nope. I just moved in. Didn't know about this moving into the apartment. These people had to have known. So no, I'm getting out of this. I don't care. I'm getting out of this lease. I'm getting my money back. I can't. No. I don't want to, like, and it was infested. It wasn't just like a few here and there. Like, it was bad. So after that, I kept seeing them, and I contacted the landlord right away. The next morning, they did get back to me. They were nice about it. They sent an exterminator twice. I got my own little traps. I put them around. It worked a little bit, but the issue was so bad. Like, they need to tear the building down and build a new one. Probably not even there. Like, they're probably in the ground, and they'll probably get into the new building. But it's even the exterminator came, and he did not make me feel better at all. He was just like, yeah, if you're seeing them, you're gonna keep seeing them. Like, we can keep coming and trying to get rid of them, but like, they're obviously coming from another apartment. So their theory was that someone in the apartment next door had just got evicted. I don't know, either it was when I moved in or right before I moved in, but they had got evicted, and it seemed like they were coming from there because they were coming through the kitchen, and that apartment was adjacent to my kitchen at the time. They were definitely coming in the kitchen. So I don't know if these people were dirty or if they just left a bunch of garbage. I don't know what the case was, but we were pretty sure they were coming from there. But my thing was, the building was full. Like, it couldn't just be those two apartments that had this issue. Like, it had to be the whole building, or maybe a few other apartments. Like, I know I'm not the only one. I said, am I? Because they seemed, the landlord and management, they just seemed so like, oh wow, you know, the person before you, they never complained about it. I said, I looked really close, and there's definitely evidence that an exterminator had come there before. No, like, they must have not never said anything. I'm like, well, that must be it, because a lot of people here must be dealing with it. They're probably just not saying anything, which I don't understand that. I mean, I never like fully moved in, so I know they were a lot more visible to me. I can imagine if people have a lot of furniture and stuff, there's more places for the roaches to hide. But no, it was bad. It was really, really bad. So I told them, I said, I appreciate you guys sending the exterminator and everything, and I gave it a few weeks before I like really put my foot down about it. But I was just like, this is not fair. Like, I just moved in and it's an issue. This is not something I want to deal with, because this is something I'm going to have to deal with for the whole lease. Like, I said, can we work something out? Can we come to an agreement? Like, I offered to give up my security deposit. Like, I deserve to get it back, but I was just so desperate. I said, just keep it. Like, I just don't want to be responsible for this lease anymore. They said, well, it's not like we're not doing anything about it. You know, you signed the lease. Basically, they told me I'm stuck. I've never been in a lease where there's no option to break it. Like, worst case scenario, you lose your money, you have to pay a fee. But I had just moved in. I gave them a lot of money. So I was like, just keep it. Just let me go. And they would not let me go. They're like, nope, you're responsible. We'll take you to court if you try to leave like that. I was like, well, then I'll take you to the health department. They said, go ahead. We've dealt with them before. Oh, no. No. So I'm almost in tears on the phone with this guy. I said, okay, all right. What if I find someone to take my place? I'll be honest about the situation and everything. I'll try and find someone. Like, this building is clearly very popular. It's a good area, like good location. So I'll do all the work for you guys. Let me see if I can find someone. They said, okay, if you can find someone, they meet all the requirements and everything, credit, background check, you're good to go. So I put a listing on Craigslist, and within the first hour, I was getting phone calls, I was getting texts, emails, tons of people interested. Great. So I think I showed the apartment for like 2-3 weeks, and I was able to find someone, and he knew, pretty much all of them knew about the roaches, because either they saw the traps, or like they would ask if there were any issues and I would just tell them. Or two of the people that I showed, I usually would try to like do an inspection and clean. I didn't want them to walk in and see a dead bug on the floor, but that happened. The guy that actually ended up taking the apartment, he saw, at first he was like, oh, are there roaches? And I was like, well, and then we looked, there was a dead one right in front of us. I was like, I'm so sorry. He's like, it's okay. He's like, I'm still interested. Like, you know, they're sending the exterminator and everything, so that's fine. I was like, okay, as long as you know about it and you're cool with it. And then there was another person. I was walking into the bedroom. I was showing her the bedroom, and a big one just ran right across the floor in front of us. I was like, oh my god. This is so awkward. So, you know, even if I tried to hide it, like it would have became known. So, but I wanted to be real with them. I didn't want someone to come in into the apartment and deal with it blind like I did. At least they would know what they're getting themselves into. But this guy that took it, I think he was kind of in a desperate situation. He really just, the price was good for him, he just needed to go. So he was very happy with it. I'm grateful because since he took it, I was able to leave. No, I mean, I didn't get any money back, but I'm just so happy to be out of there. I didn't care about the money. Yeah, so I was trying to make my life easier, and it definitely this situation made it a lot more stressful. It's really unfortunate that I chose that particular apartment with that issue. You know, there's just no way I would have known. Like, I wish I knew the signs and everything, but there's just no way, so I can't really blame myself for it. But I am grateful that I was able to get out of it. It was a nightmare. Like, I was in the shower one night and I saw one crawling up the corner. I get out of the shower, see one crawling up the walls. No, oh my goodness. And then there was one morning, I got to a point I didn't stay there anymore, even though I technically still had the apartment. I took all my stuff out. I put my things in storage. I was staying with friends. I was like, I can't, I'm so disgusted right now. I can't do this. I got up one morning. I would always go into the kitchen first to inspect, because especially because the exterminator came, you'll start to see some dead ones around, because basically it's poison that they put out. They eat the poison and then they go, and usually they'll go on the walls and die, but sometimes they'll be out and about. So I went into the kitchen, I turned the corner, there was a giant one, like huge. He was on top of the counter where you cook and eat and do anything food related, and he's on his back. I'm pretty sure he was dying. He was on his back with his legs like this. So I screamed so loud. I was like, oh my god, no, I can't do it. So I went through all of my things because I didn't want to risk moving out and taking any of them with me. So I went, took everything out of the boxes and bags. I repacked everything. I sanitized. I rewashed all my clothes, laundry, blankets, everything. It was really gross. Some of the boxes in the kitchen I hadn't unpacked. I found a couple at the bottom of the box. They were dead. Like, they went into the box and died in the, oh no. But I took care of that, and my things are still in storage. I'm still kind of figuring out my next step, because after this I need a break. But yeah, I checked everything, and I'm still so paranoid, so I'm always checking. But I think I'm good now. So that was my story on my roach infested apartment. If this is something you have dealt with, if you're dealing with it now, I am so sorry. That's just a tough way to live. That's really tough. I feel my heart goes out to anyone who's dealing with that and they're stuck. Like, fortunately, I was able to get out of it. I almost was gonna try and deal with it, but I was like, no, they're really hard to get rid of. And I started seeing how they ran things in that building. I just felt like they didn't care. Like, they were being nice about it, but they just didn't care. They're like, I don't have to live there, so it doesn't matter. I'm just mad that they weren't trying to let me out of it. Like, they really, like, what if I lost my job, or I had to move out of state, or had something family related, some kind of emergency? Like, you're not gonna let me out of the lease? That's a thing too. So if you go into an apartment, they lay out the lease and everything. I know it's a lot of blah blah blah, we don't always want to read it, but at least ask. Just make sure you check on that. Things can happen, so you want to make sure you know what your options are if for some reason you need to end the lease, or whatever the case is. Just make sure you really know what you're getting into before you sign a lease. That's something I definitely learned from this. But anyway, that was the apartment that I used to live in. It was really bad. It was really bad infestation of roaches, but thankfully I don't have to deal with that anymore. But that's my story. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.